I'm going to be doing the Rantcast live at the Stand Comedy Club Thursday. That's right, on the 15th of January at 7 o'clock. If you wish to come, go to lewisblack.com for tickets, or there's also a link below. You can catch me there. The seating is limited. I don't think there's any more than 110, 120 seats. If you want to come, get it in now, and look forward to seeing you. Most importantly, send in those rants. Send in your rants. It's your opportunity to get it out there in front of an audience. Thank you so much, and I look forward to reading whatever you give me.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 250th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled In Memory of Renee Nicole Good and Bob Weir. I was planning only to talk about trying to get some new rants for my live Rantcast coming up this Thursday, tomorrow. But then, of course, we don't have a break. There's no breaks anymore in our lives, so we can just, do what we were planning to do. We've got to adjust a little, and really, that's the only title that I'd have been remiss if I didn't call it in memory of. Her shooting in Minneapolis reminded me of Kent State, when I just, when you had that sense of they'd gone over the line. They'd gone over the line. There is a line, and they went over it. There was no need. None. And if he's really shooting from his cell phone, the car, as it's leaving, he's standing at the side of it. I don't understand how he could be in the way. If he's shooting her driving away like that, it isn't like she and then for them, J.D. Vance and the president and Kristi Noem to kind of spew this seriously, leftist terrorist nonsense out was beyond belief, and rushed to judgment, and made it worse. Just made it worse. It's just appalling. This is where we've come to. When you let someone who really has no sense of morality, or whatever his morality is something that I don't understand. No sense of shame, and run the country. I mean, it's pretty simple. And the loss of Bob Weir is, it leaves me deeply sad. At a time, it gives you the sense of someone who gives us the sense. It's someone who gave us great joy, or gave me great joy. Maybe some of you didn't. I know that there are folks who had trouble with the Grateful Dead, but he really is hopefully out there trucking, like the Doodah Man. He truly was unbelievable to continue to make that kind of music. And I was lucky enough to be able to go to see the Dead when they were in Colorado, and they were actually in Boulder at the football stadium there, and I was sick. I went. It was the first opportunity that I'd had to go see them, and 5 hours later, I was no longer had a fever, and I was no longer had a flu or whatever I had. And I'd been dancing, and it had rained, and then they stopped it from raining, as far as I could tell. And I was well when that concert was over. And I give a chunk of that credit to Bob Weir. When it was the kind of, he's the one who, when these kind of traumas, the trauma of Kent State would happen, you would find comfort in the music that he was playing, along with the band, and he continued to do it. And Something tells me I met him once, but my brain has become addled with age and with nonsense and with the essential fucking what we have to live through now on a daily basis. All I wanted to do was to say that this is the 250th episode, kind of, but I really was, and I am, been preparing today and will be for the next 2 days to do the live Rantcast on Thursday at the Stand, 116 East 16th Street. I believe it's East 16th Street. I was right. The Stand is at 116 East 16th Street. It will be at 7 o'clock. And for those of you out there who would like the possibility of having it read, please, 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 you have a few more days to send in your rant. And I would say err on the side of shortness, because I have a couple of really great long ones, and I think we need some that are more in between. And I think that would really be of help, especially those of you who live here in the city. I'm sure you have a great deal to bitch about, because I hear it every day as I wander about. Not as of late, because as you can hear, I'm just recovering from a little one of those fabulous new cold virus things that we have, because we're not really, no one is really believing in any type of modern medicine, so don't worry about a thing. If we all get it, nobody will get it, or whatever the fuck herd mentality, bullshit, nonsense. So thank you again. I look forward to you being able to come. I look forward to coming to the Stand this Thursday at 7 and doing this live and seeing how it works. And we'll from there just make the decision. I will make that decision of whether I'm going to keep doing it from time to time. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here at this desk writing, and wherever else I happen to be. And hopefully someplace warmer, because I am tired of the cold. Thank you all who continue to send in rants, and I deeply appreciate it. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to read them, I can tell you that. I'm very lucky that you share them with me. And I hope that as now that I do have a little more time, that folks pay a bit more attention, and not for me, I don't care, but for what people out there are really, what the folks are saying, because a couple of the things I'm reading for next week are better than anything that I'm hearing from anybody who's a politician. There's a lot more being nailed out there by the public day to day. So thank you. Take care. And we shall move on and hopefully become stronger and are able to get through this, what is a nightmare. Every week becomes more of a nightmare. And thank you for the strength you give me. Maurice Burgess. My town banned menthol cigarettes under the guise as flavored tobacco that's marketed to kids. What the fucking fuck? I don't smoke, but when I want to enjoy secondhand smoke, I want it to be menthol. What's next? Flavored alcohols? If I go to the market and find that whipped cream vodka has been banned, I'm going to burn myself in effigy in front of the town hall as I say, you miserable fucks left me no choice. Now, I know we don't want kids to smoke, but the tobacco companies targeting kids is not fucking new. When I was a kid, we had carton figures of giant mascots telling us not to smoke. And if we persisted, we had to dissect a charred lung as a consequence. If you smoke too much and fuck yourself up, that's natural selection. And not a reason to make the rest of us go without flavored tobacco and other poisons that we enjoy. All right, Maurice. Not quite sure I understand the end of that, but I thought it needed to be read because we have not heard about tobacco stuff, hardly at all. Hardly at all. So I appreciate it, Maurice. I appreciate it. I'm going to read two rants back to back. They came in a week apart. It always fascinates me. From time to time, there's a synchronicity amongst the ranters in the sense that they send it in response and don't know that they're responding to something someone wrote out there wherever they were in the universe. This is from Ian McEshearn. Isn't it fun to listen to me try to say names? My lovely wife and I were biking along the Embarcadero in San Francisco with one of our handsome standard poodles all dressed up in his holiday sweater and jingle bells. A lady turned around and screamed at my wife, yelling at her that she shouldn't be riding her bike in the shared bike lane, where she most certainly should be. She then was upset about the jingle bells. She wouldn't give up, just kept doubling down. Her husband had to apologize to us for her. Well, she had a psychopath smile the whole time. What the fuck is wrong with people? There's nothing more wholesome than riding a bike with your dog in a Christmas sweater. Thank you, Ian. And now from Anton K, who I realized today is one of our Canadian cousins, and I've read something by him recently, but I couldn't pass this up in response to Ian, who didn't know that he'd be responded to. When did we as a culture develop the collective psychosis thinking putting clothes on dogs is okay, while acting as if these creatures are our mini furry children? Booties being put on in winter, well, that's understandable. I remember seeing my second dog acting so confused and pissed off, wondering why the hell she couldn't move properly, dancing around like Bart Simpson in tights, thinking shit gravity has finally gone screwy. One neighbor would even put this whole yellow raincoat outfit on her first dog, including a hat. Every time we saw him, I'd think, you poor boy, that owner has finally left reality and gone bye-bye. Dogs are getting dressed up for canine weddings. Now that's a whole new level of detachment and psychosis entirely. See, the Canadians can get angry. It just takes certain things to tick them off. And Ian, I think it's interesting. Maybe you two will send another couple of things in to argue with each other about the Christmas sweater and the fact that the dog shouldn't be wearing it because the dog doesn't know it's Christmas. I read these because I just got a dog, and he's making me psychotic. He doesn't. I don't put clothes on because he's already got a coat, and so it'd be redundant. From Andy Kufner, the topic: indoctrination in schools. All right, now we're rolling. The underlying assumption in adult society today seems to be that indoctrination of kids works. More specifically, teens and college-aged young adults can be indoctrinated by adults in schools. Have you considered that, by and large, indoctrination by adults doesn't work on teens/young adults generally? Doesn't the research support the idea that teens, young adults, are hardwired to reject authority? So therefore, they reject most adults when the said adult is trying to tell them how to think. Mom and dad are stupid. My teachers are stupid. What we are learning is stupid. Everyone is stupid. Doesn't the research support the idea that young adults are hardwired to fit in? And where exactly are they fitting in? I would suggest that it is with their peers, not the adults. And where are they hanging out with their peers, desperately trying to fit in online spaces? Just look at your favorite site, TikTok. Yes, the panacea of kids showing other kids how to make bad decisions. What do we know about online spaces? They are curated and managed by complex algorithms that feed them more and more information they like in order to keep their attention. So the more they watch those videos their friends are suggesting, the more the computer algorithm is sending them videos of the same content. At least in a classroom or at a family dinner table, they are more than ready to reject what the adult suggests. But somehow, when that adult is a computer, they don't seem to mind. So given this, I would argue that instead of teachers, you need to turn your ire to the tech companies who utilize sophisticated algorithms to feed our young adults a steady diet of whatever they think the kids will like. And what do they like? They like the fact that adults are stupid and are ruining everything and should be canceled. Tech companies are in it for profit, and they make money off of the time that young people are spending on their platform. How much time do you think young adults, teens are spending paying attention in class to the teacher who is trying to force them to think a certain way? How much attention do you think they're paying to the school that has yet another diversity month? I would venture the time and attention they are voluntarily giving their online platforms is much more in both length and depth. Besides, if indoctrination through education really worked on kids, then every graduate from Catholic school would be a God-fearing zealot. How's that working out as a strategy for the church? Okay, that's my rant for you. Well, thank you very much, Andy. I did appreciate it. Well said, well done, I think. Well spoken. And something to chew on, maybe. You're chewing on whatever the hell else you're chewing on. Mike H., let's see what you got. Hi, Louis. I know there's so many other things that are more important, but one thing that is absolutely nuts to me is how people behave in comment sections on social media posts, especially if it's something to do with our president. Sports, shit like that. One example, I follow Ronnie James Dio's Facebook page because I'm a fan of his music, whether it's Black Sabbath, his solo career, etc. There was a post years ago that said he loved football, and he was a huge New York Giants fan. I'm thinking, how fucking cool is that? Dio and I like the same football team. Now, I understand not everyone likes New York. I get that. This one motherfucker, and I'm not exaggerating at all, he actually said, no wonder he died. He rooted for a garbage team. What the fuck is wrong with this person? And to those who were thinking it was a Dallas, Philly, or Washington fan that said this, no. This cocksucker had a 49ers logo for his profile pic. It's a shame that people can be truly cruel online and not get their fucking heads caved in for saying such horrible shit. Couldn't commenting be disabled for a lot of these people? Seems it would stop some of the needless arguing and bitching, which does nothing except piss people off more, while nothing changes. Yep, it certainly does piss people off more, and nothing is changing here, Mike H. Thank you. Thanks for that. It really is just incredible. I find it harder and harder to read the Twitter page. I've got to get off Twitter, and I'm too lazy. I'm just not doing it. And I've got to, because it's madness. Cheryl Wonko. This is really, I found this fascinating, and I really thank you, Cheryl. I am an English professor trained in 17th and 18th century British literature, an increasingly rare breed in a time when no student wants to actually read anything old, or anything for that matter, and no one needs to learn to write because of ChatGPT. But anyway, as a professor of British Lit, you'd think that I'd be reading books, working in archives, exploring historical literary questions, and filling my brain as well as those of my students with insights into past cultures, or at least reclining intellectually on a pillow of exquisite linguistic expression. But no, faculty at our mid-sized university are forced to learn and then fill their brains with software. I keep a running list. Faculty here must know at least 36 software programs and apps to do our jobs. And this doesn't even include things like the full Google suite or multiple browsers, because of course different software works differently on different browsers. And we're supposed to play this fun fucking matching game, or social media, or the specialized software required in our individual fields. I used to remember the premiere date of William Wycherley's The Country Wife. But now that space is taken up with knowing which fucking button to click to upload a job evaluation. Do I want to recite scathing lines from Alexander Pope's essay on criticism? Can't fucking do that anymore, because I've had to memorize instead the architecture of the goddamn course revision proposal software. I can't even reserve a room or order catering for a student event without having to stumble through some non-intuitive series of obtuse screens that some shits in Silicon Valley thought were obvious. You know what's obvious, you despicable band of turd tossers? That you are wasting my precious time on this earth with your click fuckery. Now, you might think I'm a Luddite or incompetent with technology, but I'm not. I was one of the first on my campus to teach online in the early 2000s, and I regularly help others navigate this morass of modern make-work, thus contributing to their mental decline. Just as Philip Larkin wrote, "Man hands on misery to man. It deepens like the Coastal Show. Get out as early as you can, and don't have any kids yourself." And if I incorrectly quoted these lines, it's because the space they use to occupy has been taken up by having to know what to click to grade my fucking papers. It's time for me to figure out where to send this and click myself to some small relief. Thank you for reading it, if you can get to it. And it was great seeing you in Wilmington, Delaware back in 2024. It was great to be there, and it was even great to hear this spectacular hit, and it really is true. It takes up more of our brain every day. God. But 17, it's just spectacular. Engaging 17th and 18th century British literature. And they've got you on a computer with the variety of programs to deal with. It's wonderful. Stephen Luciano. Since it's the holiday season, I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah. And since I'm in the holiday spirit, I wanted to comment on the folks that dress up their cars like a reindeer. Fuck them. Tell me what goes through your mind to convince yourself this is cute or silly or Christmassy. It's not. You're a degenerate psychopath. I purposely saved a year's worth of beer bottles to hurl at these vehicles as I'm sleighing down the road myself. Extra points if you knock the fucking Rudolph nose off the grill of the car. I become immediately enraged when I see these decorated vehicles and want nothing more than to run them off the road into a Florida swamp, with the last thing I see being a fabric reindeer antler hanging out of an alligator's mouth, as he blissfully disappears beneath the water's surface, knowing he played his own part, making the Christmas merry for people like me. Have you ever driven past one of these reindeer mobiles? When you do, glance over and get a look at the driver. They all have the same glazed over and distant look on their faces, like they have no fucking clue what planet they're on. Imagine meeting the love of your life only to find out they decorate their car like a reindeer for Christmas. Fuck off, you lunatic. There is a special place in hell for people like this, right next to the fucking assholes that slap eyelashes on their vehicle headlights. Go fuck yourself. I hope your car explodes. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Stephen. Never seen, ever, is it true? I mean, the people are dressing up their cars to look like reindeer. I've never seen that at all. And nor have I seen Island. Where are you that this is happening? And that so many of them, and that it makes you this crazy. That's what I really love. That it's driven you completely and utterly batshit. And I deeply appreciate you sharing it with us, Stephen. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.